Hello and good evening, everyone. I'm Katie McManus, your practical business coach, and I'm coming to you live in several places this evening. We are live on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Instagram, and over here on TikTok. I'm just going to move my microphone a little closer to me, and actually, I'm going to make sure I'm on the right place. I am. Wonderful. Good evening, everyone. Talking tonight about the attraction model of attracting your clients rather than chasing. There's a lot of bad advice that goes out around how to get clients when you first start your business, and even when you've had a business for a while. There are a lot of business gurus who want to tell you how much you need to hustle and work hard to be able to go out and get people who are willing to pay you top dollar for your services. And I disagree with a lot of them. So this evening, I'm going to be breaking down what it looks like when you're chasing people and why it actually isn't a good use of your time, and why if you start your business that way, that actually sets you up to be in major burnout mode for the whole duration of your business being in business, and why it is so much better for you and for your ideal clients if you establish an attraction model from the very beginning. Okay. An attraction model basically is like you're just kind of laying breadcrumbs and you're letting them come to you. They discover the breadcrumbs, are like, I want more of this. And then they ultimately start working with you. Now, with my clients, I do train on the attraction model. I actually don't do any training on the chasing model. That's just not my style. I don't think it's necessary also. I have never sent a cold DM in my life to get a client, and I never will. I've run an experiment. I've sent cold DMs, but it wasn't actually to get clients. But I'll get into that. But I'm also going to be talking about what it's like when you actually set up a business where you are just attracting people who are your ideal people. Now, if you want to learn how to actually establish that attraction model, then I invite you to join my 5-day challenge of Build Your Business. It starts next Monday, August 4th. If you're watching this on YouTube or on LinkedIn, then you can just go to the link that is in the description of this live, and you can sign up for it there. Every single day, there will be a training email that's sent out in the morning with a really, really simple exercise that you can do in about less than 5 minutes, where you can literally create one of the foundational pieces of your business in those 5 minutes. And then in the evening at 5 p.m. Eastern time, every single day, Monday through Friday next week, you will actually be invited to a Zoom room with me where you will get free coaching on the work that you did earlier in the day. Okay. So you're not only just going to be given some information and some like guidance, you're actually going to get real business coaching. Okay. So if you want to sign up for that and you're on LinkedIn or YouTube, then just go to the link in this description of this live. If you're watching this on Instagram or over on TikTok, then I want you to go to the link in my bio, and then you can sign up there. I'm just realizing there's a little lag on Instagram. So we'll be diving into it. So in this live, hi, Adam. Welcome. Hi, Birdie. Welcome over on TikTok. And I always love this to be interactive. So if you have any questions, if you're thinking about starting a business and you have any questions, especially when it comes to how to get clients, then please feel free to put them in the comments. So let's get into it, shall we? Okay, so when you start a business, there's a lot of conflicting information out there about how you should go about getting your first few clients. I have heard it all from going door to door, and I actually have gone door to door before. When I worked in the solar industry, hi Gertie, welcome. When I worked in the solar industry, we actually had to go door to door in any neighborhood where we had a solar installation, and try to round up more people who wanted solar on their roofs. It's not that effective. It's not. You get a lot of slam doors in your face. And for something like solar, you're going to a house. People have a house or they live in a house. And they're more likely to be a client of yours or a potential client than if you're selling, say, consulting services or coaching. Going door to door for coaching is not actually going to be the most effective use of your time because you have no idea who's living in that house. And chances are they're just going to be really creeped out by you. So going door to door, not the best way. Maybe if you're a real estate agent and you have a listing in that neighborhood, or like I said, if you're doing some kind of like home repair kind of service or installation kind of service, door to door can be helpful, at least to get your name out there. But it takes a lot of time. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a fast walker, and even I couldn't hit as many houses as I wanted to in like a 3-hour door knocking session. It also is exhausting. Hi, Victor. Welcome. Hello. You have to wear really comfortable shoes. It can be hot. There's like no bathroom breaks unless you want to like drive somewhere and like come back. And I mean, it's a great way to get your steps in, but if you're looking to get clients door to door, not going to work for you. So that's one way that I see advised for new business owners, especially in the like home help sector. Obviously does not work for the types of clients that I work for. Okay. So the clients that I work with are generally like copywriters and marketers and coaches and consultants. Hi, Dylan. Welcome. Hello. Welcome. I love welcome. Hi. Hi, Fast Chad. Yes. Hello. So you can absolutely go to door, but if you're offering some kind of like intellectual service where you're advising people and you're sharing your expertise and that's what you're selling, door to door is not going to be it for you. All right. So that takes us to the next bit of advice that people get, which is you should be doing 100 calls a day. This could be 100 calls. This could also be like 100 cold DMs. This could also be sending 100 cold emails. Again, very low return on investment, the low success rate. My very, very, very first sales job was actually doing cold calling to businesses to see if they needed video production services. I was living in San Francisco and we specialized in a lot of things. Like this company did not last because we were doing too much. There was no niche, but it was a very, very low success rate to even get someone to be willing to talk to me on the phone. If you really love being rejected, then I highly, highly recommend doing some cold calling. It is like, that'll get you your jollies for sure if you like some rejection. If you don't like rejection, however, if you're a normal human being who, likes when people say yes to wanting to hang out with you and talk to you and work with you, cold calling is not the way. Absolutely not the way. And I think we all know from being on social media, especially if you're active on social media and you share it all about your business right now, we all know how fucking obnoxious it is when you get the constant barrage of cold DMs. My zipper is just falling down right now. Excuse me. This is awkward. I forgot that about this dress. Like the zipper thing is way heavier. And for some reason, like the zipper just like as I'm about my day, the zipper just like opens. I was just like, why is it cold in here? Excuse me. My dress is just falling off. All right. We fixed it. It was not an awkward moment. Hello, Tay. Hello, Lulu. Hi, Fast Chad. Hi, everyone. So yeah, like the cold DMs that happen on social media are just too much. And let me explain, like I am on so many social media platforms. I am very active on LinkedIn. That is where I get the bulk of my business. LinkedIn is incredible if you're offering professional services. It's underrated. Honestly, most people sleep on this. LinkedIn is one of the best places that you can do this, but it's so obnoxious when you get the constant barrage of cold DMs of people wanting to sell you their shit. I hate it. It's not effective. And honestly, like if you're really putting in the right work on LinkedIn and building your brand and establishing connection and trust, you ruin all of that when you send a cold DM, unfortunately. It just kind of like bites you in the ass every single time. We don't want that. Likewise on Instagram. Instagram, I show up less consistently, but there are so many people who are just trying to sell shit in the comments. I'm sorry, in the DMs on Instagram, and it gets exhausting. On Instagram, people genuinely want to have a real connection with you. And if you're trying to DM them, it just kind of ruins that. On TikTok, I'm a little more consistent there than I am on Instagram. But on TikTok, again, there's this constant barrage of people who are trying to sell you stuff. And there's this added layer that there are a lot of scammers on TikTok, unfortunately. So like DMing people, asking them to buy your thing can actually send off alarm bells for folks that you might be scamming them. So we don't want that. I did this little experiment at one point where I sent a bunch of like cold DMs on LinkedIn. And when I say cold DMs, I literally in my message said, hey, I'm doing an experiment, or I customized it. So I did, hey, first name. And so I would go in and customize the first name for each message. And I'd say, I'm doing this experiment to prove how long it takes to send X amount of messages in this amount of time. And I'm not selling anything. I swear to God, if you want to send me a picture of your dog, I would love to see it. But you were just one of my most recent connections. And so I'm sending this message here. It took me 45 minutes to send a message like that to 20 people. Okay. And I didn't even customize it beyond their first name. Okay. So if you are sending cold DMs to folks, I want you to think about this. The average, and this is for someone who does this day in, day out. Okay. This is their life. The average amount of cold DMs that you need to send to get one booked sales call is 100. And not the cold DMs that I was sending that just have like the first name customized. No, that's not what we're talking here. We're talking customized, like I have actually looked at your profile. I have gotten a sense of what you do and what your company's about. And I'm sending you this very customized cold DM. So I want you to think about this. In 45 minutes, and let's just do it for the sake of math. Let's bring it down to 40 minutes, okay? 40 minutes for me to go through, send everyone that custom DM with just their name customized. So that's 2 minutes. Let's say I was adding on a couple more minutes for me to customize about their thing. For me to send 100 of those a day just to get one measly appointment, that's a fuck ton of time. That is like 4 minutes per person. Okay, so for 100, that's 400 minutes. You do the math. That is a whole work day. Okay, that is your whole work day. You're not going to be able to work with any clients at that rate. Hi, Victor. Hi, Ariel. Welcome. Hi. So yeah, you could do the cold outreach and the cold DMs and the cold emails. Ew. I don't recommend it. It's chasing. It's a lot of fucking work. It takes too much time. And if you're a business owner, you do not have that time. If you're a business owner, then chances are you are working with clients. You're doing client work. If you're a copywriter, you're writing for them. If you're a lawyer, you're doing legal work for them. If you're a consultant, you're doing whatever consulting work for them. You do not have that kind of time to chase people down to work with you. And what ultimately happens for folks who build their business around these types of activities is that is the only way they end up getting clients, is by chasing and chasing and chasing and chasing. And that's it. And what ultimately happens is because they built their business that way, that is the only way the business functions. Because they never established an attraction model, which again, if you're watching this and you're thinking about starting a business and you want to do so in a way where you actually get to have work-life balance or work-life integration, which I like a lot better, then you are setting yourselves up for a burnout model. You are constantly going to have to work 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week just to get a few clients. And that's not what we want. We're not starting businesses just so we can like become a slave of the business, right? We are starting businesses so that we can design a life that we actually want, so that we can have freedom and flexibility to spend time with people that we love, so that we can spend time on our hobbies, and that we can really have more control around our lives, right? So you can absolutely build a business around chasing your clients and trying to explain to them why you're special and like why they should work with you and all that stuff. But if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. Actually, in the challenge that I'm doing next week, starts on Monday. Every single day, I am training on a foundational piece of the business that you're going to have to establish if you want to have a successful business that doesn't require you to work too hard. You can go and sign up for that. Actually, if you're watching this on TikTok or on Instagram, in the link in my bio, or if you're watching this on LinkedIn or on YouTube, I want you to go to the link in the description of this live and go and register for it. Okay. Because literally on day 2, I'm going to train you on how to do this attraction model, on exactly what you need to say to start laying those breadcrumbs so that your ideal clients will start, nibbling and following the breadcrumbs and following you and establishing this connection with you and feeling like they know you and start trusting you. And so that when they need you, when they get to the point where they are your ideal clients and they are ready to buy, they are DMing you and saying, hey, I've been following you for a while. I think I need to work with you. And that is legitimately a DM that I get all the time from people who worked with me over the years. Okay. That's how it all starts. So, if you want to learn how to do that, I'm training everyone on this in my free challenge next week. So just go to the link in my bio or into the description of this live and sign up for it right now. But let's talk about what's possible for you when you do have that attraction model set up, right? And let me just tell you about my day and what I do. Hi, John. Welcome. And hi, RGS. And hi, Aaron. And hi, Rocky. And hi, Jessica. Welcome, everyone. Hello. So honestly, when I'm focusing on enrolling clients, what I will typically do is on a Sunday afternoon when I have clear brain space and, I've had a nice relaxing weekend, I will make myself a little plate of snacks and a coffee, and I'll fill up my water bottle, and I will go into a cozy portion of my house. And hi, Chris Matthews. Hello. Welcome. And Tearaway. Welcome. And I will sit down and I will think of, okay, what are the 5 posts that I'm going to be posting this week on LinkedIn? And I'm going to write them up. And these are all posts that are going to be this attraction model. They're going to attract my ideal clients to come and work with me. I'll have a strong call to action at the end. And I just go and schedule them. And so every morning when I log into LinkedIn, I just go and I comment on a few people's things. So I wake up the algorithm and my post goes live. And then I watch the appointments come in. People who've seen my post, they'll literally just book appointments. I may even, if I'm posting this to other platforms, take what I've written for for LinkedIn, and use that as a script to post to TikTok and to Instagram. I might even just use that whole text as the caption and create some kind of a visual for it and post that. And it takes me probably about 2 hours of writing time to do that. And I'm able to do this because I know my ideal clients really, really well. I know them almost better than they know themselves, right? And this is what is required to have a really solid attraction model built into your business. So it takes about 2 hours to write those posts. It takes maybe 5 minutes to go and schedule them all. Maybe create another 10 minutes if I wanted to share a picture with them or, create something on Canva. It probably takes me another 30 minutes to an hour to record the TikToks and reels if I wanted to add that element to it and start posting. And then of course I want to schedule those. And hi, Katharina, welcome. Hi, Erica, welcome. And Tortor, hi. So we're looking at, I don't know, let's say 3.5, 4 hours of creating content versus 40 hours of doing cold outreach. All right. And then throughout the week, what I'm doing is I'm maybe adding a little more content here and there. I might be sharing some personal things. I might be posting to my stories and Instagram, probably sending out a couple emails to my list if I really want to put the effort in. I'm kind of lazy though, so sometimes I don't. Hi, Paul, welcome. But ultimately, for every post that I make, that I post about for my ideal clients to say, hey, come and work with me. Generally, it takes 1 to 3 of those to get one appointment, right? And I'm a micro influencer. I don't have a massive following. I'm just shy of 18,000 followers over on LinkedIn. And the algorithm over there sucks. It's not great. So your reach is not wonderful. But still, I mean, like the people that I'm attracting with my content. So let's say I'm posting 5 posts over on LinkedIn, 5 on Instagram, and 5 on TikTok. Okay. If I'm averaging one sales call per 2.5 of those, that means I'm getting 2 appointments from LinkedIn. It means I'm getting 2 appointments from Instagram. And that means I'm getting 2 appointments from TikTok. And these are all people who have been following me, who have been reading my content, who've been watching me, and who finally get in their head and think, oh crap, this is the moment. This is the thing. I need this help. She's talking directly to me at this point. And so by the time we get on the phone, they're already sold. They're already decided that they want to work with me. It's really just a question of like, is this the actual support that I need? Can I afford this? And does the timing work for me? Hi, Michael Scott. Welcome. I love that. Michael Scott. If that's actually your name, I bet you get a lot of office jokes. Anyway, but that's what's possible. And then of course, like the rest of the time that I have during the week, I'm spending it actually working with my clients. I'm spending it like going above and beyond supporting my clients. You know, one of the things every day of my life, I'm sure. And of course I just added to it. So if it hadn't happened today, I just checked that box for you. But one of the cool things that I have really prioritized in my business for my clients when they work with me so that they can build their business with me is my one-on-one clients actually get unlimited on-demand support with me. So anytime they need to talk, if they're freaking the F out over something going wrong, or they just want to like brainstorm an idea and they want to talk to me, I have the freedom and flexibility to hop on the phone with them whenever they need that. For all of my clients and all of my programs, if they ever have a question in between our sessions, there's a way for them to ask it, for them to ask me to like give them feedback on proposals they're sending to potential clients, all that. And the only way I have the time and energy to provide that support to my clients is because I'm not building my business around chasing people down. That's it. I would not be able to provide that level of service to my clients if I weren't prioritizing building this attraction model of how to get clients. All right. And again, if you're just joining the live, I want to make sure you know I'm doing a 5-day challenge that's completely free next week. Starts on Monday, where I'm teaching you on day 2 exactly how you can build this attraction model where you know exactly what to say to allow your clients that are existing out there in the world who you don't know who they are to follow you, to connect with you, to build trust with you, and sign up with you without you having to chase them down. So if you want to go and sign up for that challenge, if you're on TikTok or on Instagram, then I want you to go to the link in my bio. If you're watching this on LinkedIn or on YouTube, then just go to the link that's shared in the description of this live, and you can sign up there. But really, like the fact that I'm able to have this much free time and flexibility in my day means that I'm able to provide all the support to my clients, which means I'm able to charge more because I'm offering that much of a premium service where I'm available to them pretty much whenever they need. I'm also able to do other things. Like I recently just started a nonprofit in my spare time because I have spare time. And if you don't know about it, I'm really excited for it. We just got 501c3 nonprofit status. It's called the Gay Birthday Club. And you can actually follow us if you want to follow us over on TikTok or on Instagram. It's at Gay Birthday Club. And the whole premise is there are folks in the LGBTQIA community who don't get a call from their family on their birthday, and they can sign up with us, and it's completely free. And we call them on their birthday and we sing to them. And it's so much fun. And that's something that I was able to do because in my business, I've designed my business so that I'm attracting my clients and not chasing them down. I have that free time to be able to do that. Likewise, I'm also doing some political work because there's some stuff funny stuff going on in our country right now, and it's not great. And as someone who has a lot of privilege, who has been active in politics for a fair amount of time in kind of a passive way, you know what? I'm able to give a lot of my time to help candidates right now who are wanting to represent the working class and really save our country from the slippery slope we seem to be on. Ugh. Anyway, and then of course, like I have my life, I have my friends, I have my dog who I like to spend a lot of time with. I have, you know, activities and hobbies and things that I love doing. I'm able to see my family and spend really good quality time with them while they're still around. This is what's possible for you. When you're starting a business, it's so important to create the business so that it supports you having your ideal life. There's no point of it otherwise. Like, you want to leave your soul-sucking corporate 9-to-5 job to create a business that's going to be even more soul-sucking and stressful by having to chase people down constantly. Like, good luck to you. That sounds miserable. I don't want that. And that's not what I train my clients on ever, because that is not going to make you happy. What I, at the end of the day, measure my client success by are two things. One, how much money did they want to make and how close did they get to that number? Oftentimes, my clients will pass it, right? If they show up and if they do the work. Two, are they happy? Are they happy with this business that they have built? Hi, Anna Banana. Welcome. I love that name. Because here's the thing. We start businesses because we want to be happier. We start businesses because we want to have more freedom and flexibility and choice as to how we run our lives. And ultimately, some people do really well with it. Some people start a business and they're like, fuck yeah, this is exactly what I wanted. I love the stress. I love how I can control this. This all makes sense for me. Great. We're just going to keep going. And sometimes clients start a business and they build it to 6 figures and beyond, and then check in with themselves and like, I hate this. I don't want this. This is not the life that I want. This is too much. Too many like things that I'm responsible for. Not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of that. And you know what? Like, if you're not happy running your business, you shouldn't be running a business. There's no shame in saying this isn't for me and going back to a 9-to-5. Hi, Patrick. Hello. And Jaden, let me see what you have to say. You shouldn't start a business to make yourself happy. You should start one to create happiness. Ooh, I love that. I love that. Yes. Yeah. Because you know what, Jaden, I'm going to borrow this. This is brilliant. Yeah, you know, there's so much going on linguistically with that sentence, because like making yourself happy never works. Never works. Like, we have to invest in the activities, in the time, in the things that will create happiness for us. You know, there's this model that I work on with my clients where instead of like checking in with your ideal self all the time and seeing like what your ideal self would say about what you're doing and like getting guidance from them, like checking in with who your favorite self is. Like, who's the person that you would so enjoy being in any given moment of your day? And how does that person want to be invested in the work that you're doing and with the clients that you're working with? Hi, Pixie. Hi, Elias. Welcome. And hi, Akram. And SG Nell. Welcome. Because your favorite self will always be the one to, Jaden, to your point, to create happiness, to find ways to instill joy into every single aspect of what you do. And that is what we're after when you're starting a business. That is what we're chasing. And that's exactly what I help my clients do by developing a business that works for them, by creating a model of attracting clients rather than chasing them down, right? Where you get to just be your lit up, happy, creative self and have the right people come and work with you. And again, if you're just joining this live, next week, I'm doing a free 5-day challenge to help you build your business from the ground up. And we are going to, in 5 days, create the key foundational bits of your business so that you can successfully start signing high paying clients. If you want to sign up for that, you can go either to the link in my bio if you're over on TikTok or on Instagram, or if you're on YouTube or in LinkedIn, then you can go to the link that I've shared in the description of this live and you can sign up there. It's 100% free. And how it works is every single morning of the challenge, you'll get an email in the morning that explains something in really, really simple terms. I'm not trying to show off how smart I am with acronyms and fancy like businessy words. I want to make sure you understand it. I want to make sure you get it, that this makes perfect sense to you. So I'm going to speak to it. I'm going to speak to you in layman's terms so you understand it. You don't feel like I'm talking over you, right? Which is part of what I'm going to be training on how you can do this with your clients. In that email where I explain a concept, you're going to get an exercise that's going to help you build a portion of your business in 5 minutes. Okay. This exercise, I did them specifically so that you have 5 minutes to do this part, and it's going to be critical to you building a successful business. All right. Later in the evening that day at 5 p.m. Eastern time, every single day of the challenge, you're going to get an invite into a Zoom room with me where we're actually going to sit down and I'm going to give you feedback on the work that you did earlier on the day. So you're not just going to have an email every day. You're actually going to get free business coaching from me. Let me see. Jaden, I love your energy. Thank you. I'm 32 in Quebec and I own a couple businesses. I try to fill needs. Happy customers have a higher chance of returning, just like your job. The more success stories, the faster growth. 100%. Yeah. And honestly, but when you create a business where you have the freedom and flexibility, because you're not spending all your time chasing these clients down, you have so much more time to surprise and delight those clients so that they're happier and so that they keep coming back. And I'm sure it sounds like you have cracked that code. So that's amazing. And I'd love to hear about what kind of businesses you have. Anyway. So if you want to join the challenge, it starts on Monday. Go and register for right now. It is 100% free. Let's see, HN Tito, how do I attract customers? I'm so glad you asked. Like I've been saying, there is a free 5-day challenge that I'm rolling out on Monday. You can go to the link in the description of this live and you can register for it. On day 2 of the challenge, I'm actually explaining exactly what you have to say to attract your ideal clients to come and work with you. So you absolutely get that. And actually, I think you're asking free samples. No, no, I'm not a fan of free samples because you know what free samples attract? Freebie chasers. And you know what, nothing wrong with someone who appreciates a good freebie, but freebie chasers do not drop money, especially if you're offering a high ticket service like coaching, consulting, marketing services, what have you. If you want to build a whole business around giving free samples, you can, but you just have to be mentally prepared that you're going to get a lot of people who just want the free shit from you and who will nickel and dime you and won't be willing to pay much for your services. And that's not what I help my clients build. I want my clients to attract high quality clients who are willing to pay top dollar for their services. So no, I'm not going to train anyone on how to give free samples of their work. So anyway, if you'd like to join that challenge, the link to sign up is in the description of this live, or if you're watching this on Instagram or on TikTok, it's in the link in bio. You just go click on that and it's the 5-day challenge. And I cannot wait to see you there. It's going to be amazing. Let me see. Jaden, where people fail is when they think starting a business will be less work than their 9 to 5, but to build a business fast, you should be working 60 plus hours minimum weekly. Never do freebies. Value yourself. Yes. I think it depends on the type of business you're creating. Honestly, my clients who are building consulting businesses and coaching businesses and even copywriting businesses, I've had clients build their business to $150,000 a year, working 12 hours a week. You can work 60 plus hours minimum weekly. I actually don't think that's a great model though, because if that's how you start out, like chances are that's what all of your systems will be built around. And you'll be required to show up at that level that many hours each week for a way longer period of time. And yeah, like the more effort in, absolutely. But there's also the point of diminishing returns, right? So like, what is it? I think it's like 34 hours. Like anything that you do beyond 34 hours, you don't actually get that much more done. What I specialize in is helping people build 6-figure businesses while they're also working full time. Let me see. So that they can like leave their 9-to-5 job and replace their income as fast as possible. But you do not necessarily have to work 60 plus hours a week. Let me see. 12 hours a week equals $50,000. 40 hours, 300K. Yeah, but it's not necessarily. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But I mean, if you're working a full-time job and working 12 hours a week on your business and making 150,000, you can absolutely say, I'm going to leave a full-time job. That was one client that I had. Or if you want to work 20 hours a week and like have free time and like live your life, that's an option too. I don't tend to work with people who are solely money driven. The clients that I work with want to build a successful business where they make a lot of money. Yeah. But they want to do it so that they can have the freedom and flexibility to spend time with their family, so that they can like run for a local office and really impact change, so that they can start nonprofits like I have, who really, really want to like have a greater impact with their life. And that takes time. That takes building a business that gives you that time. So yeah, I mean, like some people will want to work a ton. But that's not really the model that I coach on. But I'd be really interested to have you in the challenge and see what you think of it. Anyway, everyone, I am getting a text message that I am late to a dinner date. So I'm already dressed, so I'm all good. I just have to make sure that the zipper stays up because I was having issues with it earlier. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this was really useful. I hope it gave you some ideas of like what kind of life and business you want to create for yourself as you're starting your business. And like I said, if you want to join the 5-day challenge, it starts on Monday. It's completely free. And every single one of those 5 days, I'm teaching you how to do a foundational part of building your business in 5 minutes or less. And you're going to be getting free coaching with me in the evenings. So go ahead and register for that now. And thank you so much for being here, Jaden and HN Tito, and Patrick and Paul and everyone over on TikTok. I can't even list you all. I hope this is super helpful for you, and it gave you an idea of what you would want to create for yourself. Everyone, I'm Katie McManus, your practical business coach, and I will be going live with you again tomorrow evening at 5 p.m. So I will see you then. Mwah. Good night.